The program you're about to see is made possible through the financial support of people like you. We hope you'll join the thousands of people who make our programming possible. Become an In the Life member by clicking on the Donate Now button on our website. For over 10 years, the Trevor Project, a crisis hotline designed specifically for LGBT youth at risk, has offered support 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The origins of the Trevor Project lie in a little theater in Manhattan's Lower East Side. In the short play Word of Mouth, writer and actor James Lecesne drew from his own experiences to tell a story of gay teen suicide. The play later became a short film simply called Trevor.
Hi, I'm James Lecesne, and welcome to my place. This is my office desk, and this is where the Trevor Project all began. At the time, I was putting together the material for this show that I was doing called Word of Mouth. That particular day, I was listening to the radio, and I was listening to a report on NPR about gay teen suicide, and at the time, it was 33% of all gay teen suicides that they know of were attributable to homosexuality. I got the idea to actually write something about gay teen suicide that was personal, so I sat down and I started writing. There was an incredible opportunity to tell a particular story about a particular boy. And, you know, I drew on a lot of my own experiences of growing up. I grew up on the other side of the George Washington Bridge in a little town in New Jersey called Hasbrook Heights. I'm going to take you now to the place where Trevor was first performed as a stage play, okay? So this is the famous La Mama Theater, and this is where I first performed Word of Mouth and Trevor, and we're going to go inside. Wow. The incredible thing about La Mama is that it's like a piece of New York history. It's where like sort of theater began in the 60s. The amazing thing is it hasn't changed at all.
And please, if it's possible, play Endless Love at my funeral. It's my absolute fave. And don't cry too much. It would have been like a skillion times worse if I had lived. Your loving son, Trevor.
There's only you in my life, the only thing that's right. My first
I met James Lecesne because I went to see his show, Word of Mouth, down at La Mama, and it truly was one of the best one-man shows I'd ever seen. I just knew that I had been incredibly touched by the piece, and that I found myself laughing and crying at the same time, which isn't an experience I get that often. The light bulb that went off in my head was, I have to call Randy Stone. Randy was a casting director, and I thought, he's got to see this guy, he's got to see this piece.
It happened that Randy Stone was in town the next day. He came to see the show.
And Randy walked out, and I could tell he had been crying and had been as moved by it as I had. And Randy came out and said to me immediately, we need to turn this into a film.
I can't cover up my feelings in the name of love. Playing safe for a while, that was easy.
The thing about Trevor, it sort of seemed like a miracle. It came together so quickly. And then we got the call that Trevor had been nominated for an Academy Award.
But they weren't only nominated. They won the Oscar for Best Short Film in 1995.
When it happened, it was almost like, okay, well, that's amazing. And that kind of an experience when you hear your name on the Oscars, I think there's this sense that it just becomes very unreal. We sold it to HBO, and we got Ellen DeGeneres to do an amazing wraparound presentation.
Hi, I'm Ellen DeGeneres, and I would like you to watch this next movie.
This was right at the point that Ellen had first come out, so she was white hot. She was on the cover of everything. It really was at that point that we knew the film was going to be on air that the Trevor Project was born. I quickly did research and realized there was no one who had a hotline that was focused on and dedicated to kids who were gay or questioning.
It just seemed like we had to do it. The first call center, we hooked up with an existing suicide prevention helpline in LA. And now it's, we've been able to actually have call centers at the Trevor offices in LA, in Washington, D.C. There's a call center here, which was opened this past year in memory of Randy Stone, who died last year.
Trevor Helpline, this is Anish.
The Randy Stone Call Center. We're here in Lower Manhattan in the financial district, so we have room for 4 of our counselor stations.
We're here 24/7, that we're the nation's only suicide and crisis intervention helpline for LGBT youth and questioning youth.
I have been a counselor on the Trevor Project since September of 2007. I wanted to be a counselor for the Trevor Project because I grew up in a very small town, and I felt that I was alone and different. As I grew older, I really felt that I wanted to be a support system for other kids who felt that way growing up.
What's it like to be a counselor? I can tell you that no 2 phone calls are the same. Every youth that reaches out to us has something different going on in their life. But a lot of the common themes are that they're feeling alone, they're feeling scared, and they're feeling isolated. A good counselor can help ameliorate some of those feelings that they're having.
We are answering over 12,000 calls a year from youth all across the country.
Most of our calls come from right here, in this region here, the Midwest and southern parts of the country. I would say our average age of our caller is 15.
What motivates me to do this and to give myself to these kids is the fact that they're just kids. They deserve to have a wonderful, healthy, happy life.
We have an annual fundraising event here in New York City called Trevor New York. We're going to be honoring Alan Cumming for his superior work in film and television. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary year, and we've got lots of entertainment. Idina Menzel, Sandra Bernhard. It's a little bit of music, a little bit of comedy, Alec Mapa. So it's a great evening. Lots of stars and celebrities come out for it. The Colin Higgins Foundation gives out 3 awards every year to youth who have triumphed over adversity. These are gay teens. And so at our event, we are more than honored to be able to bestow those awards out. They come with a $10,000 grant to each individual.
Our final youth honoree is Perry Shelton, the youngest poet ever featured on HBO's Russell Simmons Presents Death Poetry.
Receiving this award is exceptional. It makes me feel like all this work that has been done, that the Creator has used me for, it's being listened to. My mom doesn't even know that I've had thoughts of suicide, and it's obviously because I never told her. Young people need somebody to talk to, and that's all. The Trevor Project and people who are associated with will listen.
I hear a lot of pain from a lot of our callers, but what constantly makes me feel so amazing is that there are so many great volunteers who take time out of their lives to answer these phone calls and talk to young people who are feeling so much in their lives.
Great! And again!
I really believe deep in my heart, and always have believed, that art has an enormous capacity to change people's lives and to open their hearts. And that's what I wanted to be a part of.
I've definitely decided to live through tomorrow.